This right here is America's quietest town, Green Bank, West Virginia. Here you can't get cell service, listen to the radio, or even operate a microwave without approval.
If that camera or whatever he's wearing there, or watch or whatever, they'll find you.
It's located at the center of the National Radio Quiet Zone in Appalachian, West Virginia. The area used to have a booming timber industry, but that, along with all the other jobs, left in the 70s and 80s.
And it is difficult to carve a living out of these hills.
You don't have a cell phone?
No.
Only thing we have left is the cemetery.
If you want to know what off-the-grid life is like in one of America's strangest places, come with us to Green Bank, West Virginia. We're in Falls Church, Virginia, and we're beginning the 3.5-hour drive to the National Radio Quiet Zone. And I gotta say, it's kind of funny to be in the data center capital of the world, Northern Virginia, and go out to a place where literally microwaves aren't allowed. The journey from Falls Church to Green Bank was nearly 4 hours, and with the scenery we got to see in the car, we wish it had been longer. We kept driving through West Virginia's winding roads, past farms, mountains, and tiny towns until suddenly we have officially lost signal. The audiobook just stopped playing. We're getting SOS, and we are still 53 miles from Green Bank. Wish us luck. But quick pause for some history. You might still be wondering what the National Radio Quiet Zone is and why it exists in the first place. To understand, we interviewed the author of the preeminent book on Green Bank.
The National Radio Quiet Zone is this 13,000 square mile rectangle that covers Virginia, West Virginia, and a little bit of Maryland. And within this National Radio Quiet Zone, all radio waves, they're monitored, they're curtailed, and as you get closer to the center of this National Radio Quiet Zone, they become altogether banned and outlawed.
The reason it's naturally radio quiet is because of the mountains. They block many radio signals, and the government then banned radio signals in the area around both Green Bank and Sugar Grove to ensure clean signals.
Sugar Grove and Green Bank, they were both incorporated or created around the same time in the 1950s. Radio astronomy was kind of like a burgeoning field of science, and the astronomers wanted to find a really naturally quiet, radio quiet place. At the same time, the U.S. military wanted to find a place to station a lot of their antennas and communications equipment. And then it kind of grew from there into a larger communications facility for like the Navy on the entire eastern seaboard.
People go there for off-the-grid living, and you're in the shadow of one of the biggest spy facilities on the planet.
In Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, there's this one scene where the Millennium Falcon, the one place where it can hide is like on the belly of the the Death Star or of the destroyer itself. It's like the place where you hide is almost in the shadow of the place itself that you're trying to get away from.
But back to our journey. We kept driving and driving until finally we saw a country store and intersection with signs of life in the parking lot. All right, we are now 45 miles from Green Bank. Haven't had cell service for about 15 miles. And we're at a tiny town called Seneca Rocks. I mean, this place is so sparsely populated. It's a gorgeous area. We're gonna go see if anyone around here, A, has Wi-Fi, and B, is down to tell us about life here. West Virginia, baby. Now, this is not exactly Zoran country. How long has your family been here?
Well, the first group in the 1730s, 1740s.
I have to be careful how I say it, but we're the longest continuously operated family-owned business in the same location, the same building in West Virginia.
How long has this been here?
1902.
1902.
Yeah.
And it is difficult to carve a living out of these hills.
Well, I left for almost 15 years, and then I came back home.
Yeah, I mean, there's not always that much opportunity in it.
And then here, do you have cell service? Do you have...
Very, very limited. So my great-great-great-grandfather, he and his brother and his father, they were ambushed by a group from on the opposing side. And
the Dixie Boys.
His brother was killed, and he walked from here to Wheeling to join the Union Army.
Walk from here to Wheeling. How far is that?
About 200 miles.
All right, we're now 30 miles out, and we are in the country. The last town we passed through had no store that was open. So we're 10 miles from Green Bank, saw this auto repair shop. Gonna see if anyone inside is down to talk because there's nobody else in the area.
It's kind of funny. You don't get many opportunities around here to do anything as far as unless you do it yourself, you know. I'm Jim Ryder, by the way.
I'm Max. Great to meet you, Jim.
We don't have much here, but we sleep good. We don't know how blessed we are to have a place like this to live. We've been lucky to have this, you know, to be able to stay here all our life. We had some good parents that made money along the way and kind of helped us out and get started. And I'm retired of bus driving and drove the bus for 41 and a half years.
For school or what kind of bus?
School.
What do they do out at Green Bank? What is Green Bank? How big is it? Like, we know so little about it.
It's a facility there where they, I guess they look at stars and galaxies and so many things away from here, you know. And right now it's a big controversy about extra life. Some of the things they do study, nobody knows. If you're into it, you probably know it, but a lot of us local people don't. My father, he helped build the 300 and the 140.
What are those?
It's a 140-foot scope.
Do people like it around here?
Yeah, I mean, I love it around here myself. I hope I'll never have to move away. You know, it's not much goes on.
Do you get self-service? None.
No.
Do you have a cell phone?
No.
You don't have a cell phone?
No.
What do you have for calling?
Landline. My wife has a phone, you know, that works off satellite. But you go to the table to eat where everybody's sitting there, but around here you generally don't have to worry about that.
Do you wish you had a cell phone?
A couple times, especially when we're doing engine jobs or something, so I can. Here we got Wi-Fi. We look at anything we want.
Is that legal here?
You got to have a certain code or they'll give you.
Yeah.
And but yeah, other than that, they'll come and pick up what you got.
But I heard in Green Bank you can't even have a microwave, right?
You can have a microwave, but if it emits bad, you know, different type signal, they'll come up and give you one better, but replace what you got. If that camera or whatever he's wearing there, or watch or whatever, they'll find you.
This is what it looks like to work with tools. This is real work, baby.
You got to make it happen if you're going to do it. That's the way I feel about it. When something happens, you do it yourself.
Is the opioid crisis a big deal around here?
Well, there's a lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs.
That's the downside of it. Well, it's my wife's daughter, you know, and she got in a problem. Of course, we took on her grandkids or her kids, and I don't know what she's on. Oh, she's on the hard stuff. Here about a year ago, I guess somebody introduced her something to her where it just wiped her mind out. I mean, she can't have a conversation like you and I can.
Oh my goodness.
She had things going good for her. Didn't one evening she come home. That was it. She was out.
I grew up here. It's changed. Everything that was here is gone. I remember the people that used to own this, riders that used to own this store, they're all dead and gone. I'm up here, you see I got that lawnmower on, I come up and mow in the family cemetery. That's why I'm up here. So yeah, now I come up here and I'm sad when I come up here, really. The only thing we have left is the cemetery. You know, and so when I come down, there's my pappy and granny and my dad, and I've been taking care of it for 20-something years. Everything closed down. There was like 3 places that you worked here. You know, there was the tannery, the sawmill, and then you had coal mines, you know, and logging.
Yeah.
I remember when I left, I went in the Marine Corps. And when I come back, it was, you know, my brothers all worked the sawmill, and I'm like, I don't want to do that the rest of my life. And then the tannery closed down, like right after that. The coal mines were hit and miss.
Yes.
So I was like, you know, it's either that or move away, you know, so I moved away.
Everyone's got big forearms here. You know they do manual labor when you see big forearms?
Yeah, and hands that look like that.
People are more like off the grid here than in other places.
Some of them are. Some of them come here just for that. I never even heard of this, but I knew this lady, she'd come up and see my dad, and she couldn't be around electric. Yeah, I never even heard of it. She was the first one, and she wore some kind of a doohickey vest that helped protect her, kind of like what lead stuff.
There definitely is an anti-EMF community out there. There's people from around the country, and honestly from countries around the globe, who believe they have this electromagnetic hypersensitivity, that they can feel cell phone signals, microwave radiation, radio antennas, that they can feel it, and that it physically harms them. The one place that many of these people believe they can go to for refuge is the quietest town in America. Hundreds of people, I think it's fair to say, have moved there.
Let's check out Bear's Den. Oh, thank you. Look at that. Looking good. Thank you so much. We got that radio-free burger.
My grandparents was born and raised here too. Yeah, I have great grandparents that's lived here.
What was it like growing up here as a kid?
Normal to us. You have to go about 20 miles that way or 40 miles in any other direction to get cell phone service. To me, if I go to Elkins and someone's constantly calling me, it's more aggravating than being here.
We just met a super nice couple inside the restaurant, and they invited us to their farm. One of them's a railroad historian, and the woman owns the biggest farm in the area. So we're gonna go visit the Dyke family, first the telescope, but unreal, the nicest people in the world. Wow. But their farm was not our next stop. That, of course, would be the telescope. Now, before we go to the telescope, we would ask you to subscribe to our channel if you're enjoying this video and if you support our mission of capturing the world without bias or fear. If you want to support our journalism, consider becoming a member as well at the link in description and in the pinned comment. Now, back to Green Bank. All right, you can only faintly see it in the background, but that right there is the giant telescope that's over a football field wide. All right, so we are now at the Green Bank Observatory, and it says no electronics permitted, not even digital cameras. Oops. And it's fascinating. They have scientific residencies over here, according to the map, and it just feels so secluded in this random part of West Virginia. Behind us is the Green Bank Telescope. This thing is utterly massive. It's 2.3 acres, the size of 2 football fields put together. And around us, this is the only place on the premises you can use digital photography. You have a government zone there, it says prohibited, and then you have where the scientists work, and their scientific residencies over here, like Los Alamos. And everyone we talk to in town is like, yeah, we don't see the scientists. It's not like a science town. It's so weird, it feels almost eerie here. And apparently a truck will stop by if your signals are too loud, but here it is. Take it in. We passed through the town of Cass, which used to be a major timber town. It was named after a man named Joseph Cass, who ran West Virginia Pulp and Paper. In its heyday, it employed 2,500 skilled workers, but now the mill is ruined and the company housing remains vacant. The railroad has since been revived, and that would explain how the elderly couple we were about to see moved there. All right, we're now going to the farm of the elderly couple that we randomly met. Now, because there was no cell signal, they just gave us a bunch of directions, so I'm not sure we're actually gonna be able to find this place. Let's go. They told us to look for a campground site and to keep going. I think we turned into the house of someone who's like Chuck McGill, because they have a truck here that says living EMF clean, electromagnetic frequency clean. All I'm saying is West Virginia does have a high gun ownership rate, so we're a little nervous right now. Hello? We found you!
You made it.
We made it!
Willie Nelson.
Willie, is that the name, the full name?
That's his name.
So George and I came in the 60s and we bought 120 acres. And then we built the house. This house was built right. George and I and 2 friends built it, top to bottom. And I will think until I die that love is an energy. And when it grabs you, you'll know it's real. And it was something about George that bothered me when I met him. It was nothing physical, we just talked. But every time the sun set or every time it was a beautiful moon, I thought about George. I couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with me. But this is Machu Picchu. And when the artist went, I said, I'll make a deal with you. I'll take you to Machu Picchu if you'll paint it on my wall. He said, it's a deal.
You all are out of a novel. You two with your... I'm serious, you two are out of a novel. Believable.
I just love life.
Is it fair to say you all are eccentric?
We're just a little nuts. No.
Probably.
How many acres of land are here?
700.
700 acres. Wow.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I know what animals do. I watch them. And they're not mean. They're just smarter than we are.
You think
we are breeding to the point of we're going to kill the planet.
Yeah.
Either with war or virus.
What do you all think of artificial intelligence?
That was...
Like everything, my guess is we will abuse the heck out of it and it'll get us in trouble.
Have you ever had experience? Has a robot come in to take your blood pressure?
Not yet.
I had it once, and I yelled at that little son of a bitch. I said, you get out of here now. Away he went. And the nurse came in and said, oh, Mrs., what's wrong, Mrs.? Nothing wrong. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, God, give me a break. The people are great, but George and I are not very social. I mean, we're social with a meaning.
Yeah.
In other words, when I invite you here, this is social to me. But as far as going around and ganging up and sitting around and drinking beer and talking bullshit, we're not into it.
Yeah.
And we don't do it.
You-
They're great. I mean, wherever we go, people
Hey.
give us hugs.
You don't view them as enemies.
Oh, no.
No, but even though you view
You-
politics differently, and
No,
and
and-
It's completely stupid to have this enemy thing.
No. And we're careful. Truthfully, we don't talk about Trump with local people. I mean, it is their position. It is their choice. If they ask, yeah. I mean, I remember my dad. I was a little fart, but I had this great sandbox, and it had snakes in it, all babies. And my dad came with kerosene. And I said, no! I jumped right in there.
Huh.
No.
Huh.
I have
Well.
a respect for life.
Some people here come here to escape
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
electromagnetic frequency. Can you
Yeah.
talk about that?
Definitely.
Ever since the late 20s, there were radio broadcast stations. That's why we're all crazy. Come on.
Yeah.
It may not be super good for you, but I think they're off the deep end pretty badly.
This couple epitomizes something we've learned traveling the country. There are so many fascinating stories, and in the off-the-grid towns of West Virginia, we found amazing people everywhere we looked. Thank you so much for watching, and for our next video from the Virginia DC trip, we go to some of the wealthiest counties in America.